Hey Libras, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your month of May general reading here. So let's chat about your meditation. I saw George of the Jungle. I saw Tarzan. I was just immediately taken to the jungle. And I saw the Libra Collective symbolized as, so George of the Jungle is like a film from, I don't even know when it's from, maybe the 90s, where it was more of a comical and lighthearted take on the Tarzan legend. I believe Brendan Fraser played George of the Jungle, or whoever it was. Anyway, I was taken to this sort of Libra clubhouse, right? And I feel like for the month of May, you guys are in this beautiful Queen of Swords place of, you can come into my clubhouse and you cannot come into my clubhouse, where you're in a place of discernment about who you let into your, close atmosphere in terms of conversation or, whatever have you. And I really saw you but it was a happy insulation against the world and like in your own Libra jungle, clubhouse that you make yourself. And I got this glimpse inside of you just watching funny movies and really enjoying and mastering your own energy and space. I feel like you guys are waking up and clicking into, how do I feel after I talk to certain people? Right? You're moving into this place where it's like, I really love being there for other people. I'm a social butterfly. You guys are my butterflies. All of these things, but I'm kind of in a point now where I'm realizing that I've got to kind of do me and do a fun cocoon of sorts, or rather it would be chrysalis for a butterfly, a certain chrysalis of sorts, so that I can just sort of maintain and be within my own joy and humor and laughter. And anybody who is outside of that or provides a counter energy to that is just not allowed in the clubhouse, right? At least not for May, but it feels like the exact right thing to be doing. You are being asked to put yourself first in this way. And it's not that nobody gets into the Libra clubhouse. It's just about, I'm not going to let any kind of crazy negativity in here. I'm not going to let naysayers in here. I'm not going to let anybody in who takes more than they give. Reciprocity feels like a key word, okay? You are really safeguarding your energy and keeping it of a high vibration. I think that that's just really cool. The crow. Absolutely love it. So let's talk. The crow, beautiful air energy for my beautiful air signs. This is interesting because the crow is about using your voice. Using your voice to speak up against imbalance or injustice. Now, you guys are the justice key in the tarot. So I love this is coming up for you here. And this is making a lot of sense. Because if you think about it, speaking up when there's an imbalance or injustice and being very vocal about doing so, crows are incredibly social creatures and very brazen in that. Remember when I saw you taking on this sort of Queen of Swords energy about you can come in and you can't, but doing it from a place of just like George of the Jungle was a bit childlike because he didn't have a lot of experience being socialized, right? Growing up. Now you guys are the social butterflies, but there's this element of you, this clubhouse, moonrise kingdom sort of thing where it's like, I'm understanding that the best way through, the best thing for me to do is to stay in an energy of play and lightheartedness. And so I have no problem. And especially if you are in a position where you do feel like you've been there for others a lot more than you've been there for yourself during this time, or that you've been surrounded by people that you just feel drained, completely drained of your life force when you get off the phone with them, especially if you're feeling one way, right? If you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I'm feeling good. I'm this is this, and I'm feeling good, and I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then you get someone on the phone, and after you talk to them, it's just like you feel like someone shut off all the lights in the room. You are no longer willing in this month of May to really entertain anybody like that. And that doesn't mean that moving forward that, you won't welcome them back in, but it's like, I'ma do me, because that's what, I need to do. And I see you being very vocal about that, but in a very positive way. I love that. Crow is also about synchronicity and magic and signs and symbols and repeating numbers. I associate it with the number 5, which is the number of change. And, I love it. Crows definitely represent big change coming in. And I really, really like it. But you see how this crow seems like the crow's like king of its own kingdom, queen of its own castle here? Really beautiful. Knight of Wands. I really love this. So this is some beautiful summer energy that we're getting coming in here. You know, the Knight of Wands is a fast, forward-moving energy, but it's also the Wands rule the realm of passion, desire, and artistry. I do feel like this is symbolizing you rushing ahead towards really changing up your circumstances and the energy that you allow around you. I feel like there's a switch up. I feel like that there is a switch up, either to your routine or you're just rediscovering what works for you and going, is the way that I've been doing things the way that I want to continue to do things? And you're really taking the time to go, I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to implement these changes. I feel like for the past month or two, you've been in a place of, I'm getting this energy of being there for other people, but also you've been receiving and observing and taking in a lot of stimuli and information. And now this is a very active forward energy. Now you're like, okay, now I'm moving forward. I kind of get the lay of the land now. I've taken in a lot of information and change and flexibility, and I'm going to run towards my passions and literally spend my days doing things that help the time fly. And I do feel like that's a priority for you. You know how the saying, time flies when you're having fun? That's what I feel like the Knight of Wands is here saying, time flies when I'm having fun. And I feel like that is your main goal and priority for the month of May. And I love it for you. That just feels like just the ticket and just the medicine. Ooh, Two of Cups at the bottom. Hello. Ace of Cups, Libra. I'm obsessed with this. So this is, a beautiful influx of self-love, right? Self-love, intuitive informations and insights, but this is getting your own needs met. That's what this is. This is getting your cup so full that bam, you can turn around and offer it to others. Looking at this Two of Cups as an example here, right? I am getting, not just because of that lion, but also with the Knight of Wands here, I am getting some fire energy here, specifically Leo energy. There might be a Leo around you, or you might be taking on attributes of a Leo. If you think about Leos, they really have a beautiful way of getting their own needs met without feeling guilty about it when they're in alignment. Not to say that they're selfish, they just understand that they can turn around and be there for others only if they're really there for themselves first and regularly. Leos in alignment, pretty good at self-care, and whatever that looks like, right? It looks different for everybody, right? But this is a lot of intuitive information and self-care and self-nurturing and self-love and doing things your own way that bring you joy, and I really love it. Beautiful. Ace of Cups and Knight of Wands, you gotta work. Also this intuitive element here too in the crow. I do feel like the universe, your guides, your angels are definitely gonna be sending you a lot of signs of, how do I put this? When you would do well in school and the teacher would give you a gold star? That's what I feel like the universe is doing for you during the month of May, where it's like, they want you to observe what is working. Observe what is working, okay? So let's say that you spent the day, just for an example, you painted in the morning and then you watched a funny, movie in the afternoon, and then in the evening you went back to the bedroom, you cooked a nice meal for yourself, your favorite, food, cooked up a nice soup or something, and then you went to the bedroom early and just read, and then, fell asleep early, and you just felt like, wow, I had a good day today. It's like judging how successful your day was based on how it made you feel. So follow the feeling. And I feel like you're going to be getting gold stars from the universe around that, like little signs and nudges that are like, yes, keep doing this. Keep the vibration high. Keep doing that self-care. And it's not at the expense of others. It's just understanding that it's just you are the priority right now. And it's getting very clear on, how to allow each day to be a good day for yourself. And also waking up to who helps facilitate that or not in your atmosphere, right? Page of Pentacles. This is really beautiful. You're coming out of this time, you've got fire to the water to the earth here. And I do feel like by the end of the month, you're going to be in a place where you're able to turn around and offer some lovely things to other people after taking this time for yourself. That doesn't mean that you won't take breaks from your clubhouse and climb down that jungle club ladder and be like, hey, I'm here. But if you think about it, they're telling me to talk about, what a jungle represents. A jungle represents the untamed mind, the untamed landscape, right? If you think about a jungle and vines, they don't have tree groomers going in there and maintaining, the shrubbery, as it were, or trimming the verge or whatever it is, right? So there's something about allowing yourself to really connect with yourself in a way that's like, color outside of the lines and there's no rules and just really make work for you, whatever that is, right? You're being called to embrace a new way of doing things for yourself right now. And I do feel like what that's going to result in is at the end of the month, you're able to kind of come out refreshed and new with this, you know, younger energy here and be like, okay, how about this? But I also feel like you're going to get some great ideas and points of inspiration during, ooh, look, you have Page of Pentacles at the bottom of this deck too. I really like it. You know, Earth energy here. You know, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. And I do, again, it's really about like, I'm going to come out of this and really go, okay. Oh, hello. I stripped away a lot of stimuli, focused on what worked for me, and now I've got new ideas. I've got a new way of doing things. I have a new point of focus and direction. Okay? I like it. Knight of Wands. Okay. Exactly what I was saying. So this is the Five of Pentacles here. This is feeling separate from what you desire. This is also, what do we like to say about this? You know, people feeling like they are literally in the snow, out in the cold, as it were. You know, with this Knight of Wands, you know, these are two counter energies here because we've got the heat of the summer element here as depicted by the wands. And then you have the winter here. Right? So hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. Remember what I said about you get to come in the clubhouse and you don't? I feel like these are the people that you are leaving out of the clubhouse for the month of May. And again, I just want to, you know, reiterate, it's not about you being mean or cruel. It's just about practicing, like the Ace of Cups, divine selfishness, which is different from egoic selfishness, which is like, I'm going to do what's best for me at the expense of you. That's selfishness. But divine selfishness is, I've really got to refill my own cup before I can turn back around and offer something of substance and longevity and purity to you. I'm hearing to leave behind anyone and and this could be self-defeating thoughts. So this could just involve you and leaving behind self-defeating thoughts or ways of, or self-sabotage-esque behavior or partaking in, just as a random example. Let's say that you wake up every day and you watch the news. And you're like, this makes me feel like crap every single time I watch this, but I feel the need to do it. And then you go, wait a minute, what if I stop doing that? Let me just try it for a day. Let me try not watching the news for a day. Or just, they have sites where it's like only good news, right? Which is not being a Pollyanna, I'm burying your head in the sand. I'm just saying, like, try switching it up and see how it makes you feel. So then maybe that morphs into, maybe I just watch the news once a week. Maybe I just watch it a few times a week. Maybe I just watch it when I'm intuitively guided to. Right? There's a lot of repetition, and remember something. The news is a money machine. They only make money if you click on it or if you watch, right? And negative stuff sells more than positive stuff. Keep that in mind. But I'm hearing leaving behind what makes you feel, you know, out of your element or disconnected from your passion or your natural positivity. Okay? Ace of Cups. Wow, Page of Pentacles, just popping up all over here. So this is really, really beautiful. You've got this twice now, which is really cool. Two different decks, I love it. So with this Page of Pentacles here, again, I feel like this is giving to yourself as well, just like I was saying with the Ace of Cups here. But I feel like it's also allowing yourself to dream some dreams about looking ahead and going, wow, I'm going to make the best of this downtime that I have been given. You could even reframe it as this downtime that I've been gifted with. Reframe it for myself and really think about what I want moving forward, because this is a beautiful opportunity during this time to get introspective and go, you know what? I'm looking at my life of a bigger picture and going, you know what, I'm appreciating the gift of the now in a whole new way, and thus I'm going to be a lot more discerning about how I spend my time, who I spend it with, and my own relationship with my own inner thoughts and feelings, right? There's a vigilance that's coming through around this, but I also feel like there are some amazing gifts and insights coming through active meditation or just spending time in that vortex energy where you're going to get a lot of intuitive downsides about things that are opportunities for you moving forward and out of this time, which is really, really cool. Yeah, money related for sure. There's a lot of good energy around money here as well, moving forward. Some of you guys might get a brand new idea about, you know, a channel, YouTube channel, or an Etsy page, or going back to school, or something having to do with an app idea. It's really, really cool. We have the Five of Swords here. Do you remember when and the Five of Pentacles. Do you remember when I said that I associate crow with the number 5? So this is a lot about change, right? And it's interesting, Libras, because I feel like it's outer change that leads to inner change and inner change that leads to outer change, right? See, this is exactly what I've been saying this entire time. You are taking this time and allowing yourself to do this and really take stock of your day and measure your day in terms of how you felt during it. That's the biggest thing, right? This Five of Swords is exactly what I was saying about you being able to turn around and offer something of substance by taking care of yourself first. And not everybody's going to like it, Libra. Not everybody's going to like it, especially if any of you are overgivers. And I say that with love as a fellow overgiver, is an overgiver, or people get very used to relying on you very heavily or venting. They might have adverse reactions to this switch up and going, no, I'm gonna change things up. But here's the thing. I feel like there's this energy of the best and the worst coming out in the people around you. And you're going to see it for what it is. And as a result of this time, you're going to have a newfound appreciation and offerings for people that, you know, rose to this occasion of this time and really understood where you were going and, you know, earned their admission into the clubhouse, which means they give you as much as they get from you. They give to you as much as they get from you. They're patient with you. They don't demand anything, and they're understanding, right? And it's really going to highlight those around you that are like, oh, wow, I took some time for me and you showed up here and showed your backside. Good to know. I do feel like your relationships are going to be changing and transforming. But I feel like, you know, allow it to happen, right? See these people walking away in the background. It's like, yes. But I feel like this is very positive coming up for you here. You're going to have a lot more time for the people who deserve you and the people who, you know, can provide you some reciprocity during this time. You know what I mean? And going forward in your life, because it really is about reciprocity at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Let's get Oracle for you. Oop. Okay, are you serious? Awakening. Really? With all of this floral imagery here, awakening. This is exactly what we've been talking about. And again, the crow is a great messenger. So this is really you awakening to what works within and around and for you. And again, it's understanding really and really waking up to the fact that the universe is going to be giving you a lot of signs and signals, like gentle nudges of like, yes, this works, or but also be open to trial and error. There are going to be days when you try switching it up and you don't feel as good. Observe yourself, observe yourself, observe yourself. The crow is really good. Just remember, it's that aerial perspective and being the air sign that you are and observing your reactions to things, observing your behavior, observing yourself closely, almost like a scientist going, yesterday I felt really good. Today I didn't feel as good. What did I do differently today? What did I do differently? Oh, I didn't watch the news, but I answered this phone call from my cousin who just completely, you know, like just emotionally, you know, vented in a way that, and I tried to give them advice and come from a place of love, but they just didn't want to hear it. And then I just felt like crap when I got off the phone, which led me to then feel like watching the news again so that I could see if that stuff was even true that they said about the facts of it. See where I'm going with this? Like observe yourself and make changes around it. That's what you're being called to do. And again, with this awakening thing, I also feel like, you know, this time in your own energy is your intuitive gifts are right there. And I feel like they're going to be overflowing and coming through more and more and more. And I feel like coming out of this time, your intuition feels like it's your best friend right now. Your best friend. And I see you falling in love with it, either for the first time or in a new way. Like you're rediscovering this romance with your own intuition, because it's like in self-love as well, because you're like, oh my God, my intuition never steers me wrong. My intuition is always positive, yet constructive, yet, you know, it's not, you know, rainbows and butterflies where there are none, but it's always exactly what I need to hear in a way that I can receive it. That just feels true and grounded. And you know what? Here's the most important part. Your intuition is here to get you to the next moment. This is not about projecting yourself into the future too much or as much as it is, you know, the yellow brick road situation, right? It's like the next brick in the yellow brick road only reveals itself when you've completed the one before it. So it's like, you know, like in Clue, it's like, you know, get this one clue to have the next clue revealed to you, and then get that clue to have the next clue revealed. It feels very step by step. ultimately. And again, you are being asked to fill your life with sweetness with these flowers here, with what makes you have all this nature here too. See how she doesn't look like she's wearing anything either? Well, they're getting back to the bare bones and the essence of yourself and allowing yourself to really go there and be in a place where you are observing yourself and your situation from this bird's eye view and gleaning a lot of information and directives from it that is going to serve you moving forward and to help you make some very healthy and happy changes. Okay, Libras, you got this. This is a transformative time, and I'm loving it for you. And I have a feeling that what's on the other side of this, when we look into June moving forward here, that it's going to be, you know, if you choose to rise to this occasion, that it could be really beautiful for you going forward in a really newfound way. So, yay! My Libras, with that being said, this was your month of May general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated with you. If so, please let me know in the comments below. You know, I just absolutely live for reading your comments. I really love it. And with that being said, as always, thank you so, so much for being here. But most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.